Hello everyone, welcome back to RM Archives. India has always been a land of knowledge, where learning wasn't just a privilege, but a way of life. Long before universities existed in the West, India had massive centers where thousands of students studied philosophy, astronomy, medicine, mathematics, literature, and even subjects that the modern world still struggles to understand. But time has a habit of erasing the greatest stories, and with invasions, fires, neglect, and natural decay, many of India's greatest libraries disappeared forever. Today, their ruins, memories, and myths whisper stories of world that once thrived on wisdom. In this video, we travel back in time to uncover the lost libraries of India, places where knowledge shone brighter than gold, places that shaped civilizations, places that the world today barely remembers. Our journey begins in the ancient region of Gandhara, modern day Pakistan, where stood the legendary library of Takshashila. Established almost 2700 years ago, Takshashila was not just a university, it was a city of learning, spread over hundreds of acres, with thousands of students from Greece, Arabia, China, and even faraway Persia. Its library was the jewel of the campus, filled with palm leaf manuscripts, scrolls, astronomical charts, and some of the earliest texts on surgery and governance. The most astonishing fact here is that students at Takshashila could choose from more than 64 subjects, including archery, mathematics, politics, philosophy, and even ancient techniques. Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya, Panini, the father of linguistics, and the Charaka, the father of Ayurveda, all studied or taught here. But like many treasures of the past, Takshashila's library met a tragic end. Several invasions, starting from the Huns to later attacks, burned the city multiple times. Ancient sources say that the library burned for days. What survived became legends, what perished was priceless. If Takshashila was the beginning, Nalanda in Bihar was the height of intellectual brilliance. Founded in the 5th century CE, Nalanda's library was so vast, so rich, and so meticulously organized that ancient visitors described it as three buildings reaching the sky. One of them, called Dharmagunj, or the Mountain of Truth, held more than 9 million manuscripts. Imagine corridors filled with knowledge from astronomy to grammar, surgery to architecture, Buddhist philosophy to advanced mathematics. Students from China, Korea, Sri Lanka, Tibet, Java, and Thailand traveled across dangerous routes just to study here. The library was so enormous that when it was set on fire in the 12th century by Bakhtiyar Khilji, the flames reportedly burned for 3 straight months. Precious manuscripts written by centuries of scholars were reduced to ashes. Nalanda's destruction was not just the fall of a library, it was the loss of an entire civilization's memory. Even today, archaeologists continue to uncover burnt manuscripts from the site, charged fragments that remind us of what once existed. Not far from Nalanda was another giant Vikramashila University, founded by King Dharmapala in the 8th century. Known for its advanced training in Tantra, logic, grammar, and Buddhist philosophy, Vikramashila's library was considered almost as important as Nalanda's. The university was shaped like a massive mandala, with a central shrine and 107 temples surrounding it. At the heart of this layout stood its library, carefully preserved, heavily guarded, and filled with handwritten manuscripts on philosophy, astronomy, language, and mathematics. Like Nalanda, it too fell during the same invasion. The library was burned, scholars were killed, and centuries of knowledge simply disappeared. What remains today are ruins, silent, vast, and deeply symbolic. Odantapuri, founded even before Vikramashila, was one of the earliest Buddhist universities of India. Its library was known specifically for storing rare philosophical texts and scriptures brought in from Tibet, Nepal, and Southeast Asia. Tibetan records mention that Odantapuri had one of the most sophisticated systems of storing and copying manuscripts. Sadly, when Nalanda and Vikramashila were attacked, Odantapuri was destroyed in the very same wave. Its library burned and its name faded from history. Today, the exact location of Odantapuri is still debated, adding to the mystery of this lost treasure. Jagaddala, built in Bengal, played a major role in preserving rare Buddhist texts. Many Tibetan Buddhist scriptures that exist today were originally translated from manuscripts stored in its library. Scholars studied languages, poetry, and Buddhist tantras here. But like the others, Jagaddala too was destroyed during invasion and the library disappeared without a trace. In the region of modern Pakistan, Pushkalavati was another great learning center that had a flourishing library. Though not as globally known as Takshashila, it played a crucial role during the Gandhara civilization. Its manuscripts influenced early Buddhist and Hindu literature, but floods, invasions, and centuries of abandonment caused the library to vanish, leaving very few ruins. The southern city of Kanchipuram, often called the city of thousand temples, had one of the greatest collections of Sanskrit manuscripts in ancient India. Philosophers like Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Appar walked through these streets, studying countless palm leaf texts stored in monasteries and matas. Many of these libraries were lost due to the natural decay, temple destructions, and neglect. But the legacy of Kanchipuram still lives through the oral traditions and remaining manuscripts scattered across the South India. The Vijayanagara Empire is remembered for grand temples, massive markets, and incredible architecture. But hidden within its palaces were royal libraries filled with literature on warfare, administration, sciences, and arts. Foreign travelers described rooms overflowing with palm leaf manuscripts and scribes who worked day and night. When the empire fell in 1565 during the Battle of Talikota, much of the city was burned. Many libraries were destroyed in fires that raged for months. In Chhattisgarh, the ancient city of Sirpur once housed a remarkable Buddhist learning center with a well known library. Excavations reveal lecture halls, monasteries, and storage rooms for manuscripts. But like many such centers, Sirpur's library vanished due to invasions and natural disasters. As we come to the end of this journey through India's lost libraries, one truth becomes clear. Knowledge is the heartbeat of a civilization. Empires rise and fall, kings come and go, but ideas live far beyond their time. The libraries of Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramashila, and many others may have turned to ash, but their spirit has not vanished. It lives in every manuscript that survived, in every story told through generations, and in every mind that still seeks wisdom. These libraries did not disappear in silence, they left echoes that remind us of what India once was, a land where learning was worshipped, where curiosity was celebrated, and where the world came searching for truth. Today, their ruins stand not as reminders of destruction but as symbols of resilience. They whisper to us, protect your knowledge, preserve your history, value your wisdom. Because when knowledge is lost, humanity loses a piece of itself. If this video helped you discover a forgotten chapter of our past, do consider supporting the journey. Like the video, share it with others, and do subscribe to RM Archives. Your presence here keeps these stories alive. Thanks for watching. Until we meet in the next video, this is Harem Archives.